Hello again. So in this video, we're going to talk about the requirements for the course, both the assignments and participation. So we have 3 assignments for the course. Each assignment is going to be due on Saturday evenings by midnight. That gives you an opportunity to have a weekend day to work on the assignment, and it gives me a chance to have a weekend day to begin assessing the assignment. I will assess assignments in the order that they come in. So the earlier you get it in, the quicker you'll get your mark. The first assignment is due on Saturday, May 26th. The second is due on Saturday, June 23rd, and the third assignment is due on Saturday, July the 21st. So it will take me a few days to mark your assignments, but I will get them back to you, and I like to provide feedback as well. If you have any questions about feedback, you can always get in touch with me. The assignments, all 3 assignments together are worth 60% of your final mark, so they are worth 20% each. Late assignments are subject to a deduction of 2% per day after the assignment is late. And if you have any conflicts with the above dates, so if you're taking any classes outside of this one, and you find that you have the same deadline for that class, please get in touch with me in advance. If you need to have an extension on the due date, you need to get in touch with me before the date it's due to arrange your extension. Now, the final exam will be posted to the content section of the course on Wednesday, August the 7th. So you won't find it before then. That's the date you're going to have access to it. You're going to have between August the 7th and August the 17th to complete the exam. So all you need to do is download or view the exam in the course content section in order to get access to it. The Ontario Learn system won't track the time that you're taking to complete the exam, so you can take the entire 10 days or complete it in 2 hours. It's really entirely up to you. However, the exam is due on Friday, August the 17th by midnight, and this should give me enough time to assess the exams and post your marks by the time the course ends on August the 21st. The exam is worth 20% of your final mark. So there are 4 written components altogether. Well, let's talk about participation. So participation is a very important part to this course because it gives you and me an opportunity to explore the topics that we're going to cover throughout the term. In the discussion board, you have an opportunity to expand beyond the lecture from each week. Now, at the end of each lecture, there are 1 or 2 questions or beginning discussion points. Now, there are clear benefits to weekly participation in it. However, I know it can be a lot, especially if you're working full-time or have a family at home. So the minimum requirement for participation on the discussion board is for 5 original posts, 5 responses to the lectures. So you could choose 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and be done. It's entirely up to you which ones you do. Choose your favorite 5 topics and post a reply to those. Now, in addition to the 5 original posts, you also need to make 5 responses to other student posts. Now, these responses need to be something that's a little bit more beyond than simply, I agree with your point, which is a good post to make, but it needs to be something that continues the discussion. So the whole point of the discussion board is to have a discussion. Now, try not to fall into the trap of waiting till the end of the term to do all of your discussion posts. It's very challenging to have a discussion at the end of term when you're still trying to finish your final assignment or get ready for the exam. So my recommendation is to try to keep up as much as you can throughout the term, or mark out the topics that you specifically would like to participate in the discussion board on. Students should strive to answer each of these questions every week. That would be my recommendation, but it's not a requirement. The 10% of the participation mark is based on what you've done in the discussion boards. There's another 10%, however, which is going to be based on your chat participation. In the chats, just going back to the discussion boards, the Ontario Learn system will track your participation. So you don't need to prepare or track your own participation. I can get it from the system. So when I make the exam available to you, the discussion boards are going to be locked down so that I can begin assessing your participation at that point. Going into chats. So chats, I already mentioned the quiz in the last video. but that quiz is going to allow me to create a schedule for the chats. There will be 6 chats altogether, although I have been known at the request of students to make more or less chats, more or fewer. So you will be able to let me know which night and time of the week is most convenient to you, and we are going to post them. However, you don't need to attend all of them, even though I'd love for you to all come to all 6 chats, and I would expect you to attend as many as you can, but 10% of your participation mark is dependent on being actively involved in a minimum of 2 chats. So 2 out of 6, it's not too bad. It's a third of the chats that are scheduled. If you can't attend the 2 chats, so for example, in the past I've had a student who lived in the Caribbean and the time difference, it just didn't allow that student to participate in the chats. So what you can do is before the scheduled chat, you need to create a 1-page document with your comments and reflections on the course content that you've recently read for that particular week. Describe what you found to be the most interesting about that lecture, whether you've had any personal experience with the topic, or how this fits in with what you already know about records and information management. So basically a 1-pager, single space, but with paragraphs. You can even do some bullet points in there, but good sentence structure is important. Now you'll be able to find the transcripts from the chats. So this is the other piece. If you can't go to the chats, at least read the transcripts. Now we do talk about all of the assignments, questions from the assignments come up, and I answer them in the chats. It's real-time participation, so it's an excellent opportunity to for students to get clarification on points in the lecture or requirements for the assignments or even the exam. So I hope to see all of you at our chats coming up, and I look forward to seeing you in the discussion boards. Like I said in my previous video, you can get in touch with me either through email or discussion board. You'll notice on the discussion board we have general discussion at the top, and then it's broken down week by week. So that general discussion section is really quite good. Oh, just add a note, sorry. In the general section, you're going to find that there are quite a number of general threads, discussion threads. Now I've included some of these based on previous terms of teaching the course. So if you have a question about assignments, there's a thread there for you. Participation has its own thread. Exam has its own thread. But I've also included a thread for job postings and workshops, and I'm going to post jobs and workshops in that folder. There's also resources and tools. So if you find job postings, resources, websites that you would like to share with your fellow students, please post it in there. And finally, there's networking or post-course connections. So if you have a LinkedIn profile and you want to share it with your peers, then please post it into there. Networking is one of the best ways of getting your name out there and learning more once you've completed this program. Again, thank you for coming into this course. I look forward to seeing you in the chat and on the discussion board. Bye.